All right, this is my quick review of this Laguna B Flux 1 horsepower, 1 micron canister dust collector. Check it out. So I've had this Laguna dust collector for about 2 weeks now, and the quick review is I like it. I recommend it. It was previously coming from a shop vac, so it's a huge upgrade for me, and I'm really thankful I got this. Feeling definitely blessed to get it as a second-hand purchase. So it's brand new. Bought it from someone on Craigslist at a pretty steep discount, so it was a very easy decision for me. It's very small compared to the dust collectors that have that big bag on top of it, and this 1 micron canister collector, or filtration rather, is better than those bags. So those are normally like a 2 micron dust collector. It's kind of meaningless to me. It just means less dust in the air, small particles getting in your lungs, which is good. So the biggest question I had, and the reason I'm doing this video, is because I couldn't find anyone demonstrating the use of this. Coming from a shop vac, I didn't really understand the value or what the step up was, or what the big deal was on dust collection. I assume more suction, I assume stronger blower, and it is. So I wanted to do a quick demonstration. I got a big pile of sawdust here. This is a 4-inch hose, which is standard on this. This piece can be flipped if you prefer to have the hose coming out the top and the motor on the bottom. It's pretty quick, just 4 bolts on the top and then 4 bolts on the bottom, and that switches it. I've filled up the bag once and replaced it, and it's pretty easy. I'll walk through that or talk through that for you. And yeah, overall I'm really happy with this purchase. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on real quick and do a demonstration. I'm just gonna vacuum that up. You'll see the bag pressurize once I turn it on and it gets up to speed, and then I'll vacuum everything up and show you what the suction is like. So you can see the suction is really strong. It's pretty quiet. I probably could have talked over that. It's actually quieter than the shop vac I used to use, so very thankful for that. And it fits in the exact spot I had it in before. So you saw me suck up the sawdust or the wood shavings and then saw them fill into there. Once that bag fills up, you can pop it off and dump it out, or throw away the entire bag. It's a little bit of a thicker plastic, so I just kept it. I don't know how much those bags cost, but it's the perfect bag for that, so I'm gonna reuse it as many times as I can. You'll notice on the top of the canister filter, there's this little crank. It's actually inside to knock the dust off of the canister. So before I dump this out, I spun that around a couple times. And you can see the dust actually falling into that, which is interesting. But so I just ran that around a couple times. It knocks off the dust on the inside and makes that filter last longer. I'm not sure how long you're supposed to keep those or how often you're supposed to replace them. But here's what replacing them looks like. So I sped it up 5 times. For perspective, this took much longer than it probably should have. This is the first time I've ever replaced it. But you saw me work that crank at the top of the canister there to knock down some of the dust. Realized there was going to be a bunch of dust particles flying around, so I just got my mask. I'm wearing some protective eyewear as well, and then it snaps right off. You just undo the little band, and then there's the support thing inside. Dump the bag out into my trash can, and now reattaching it. This process took much longer than anticipated. So it has this nice little clip thing that I sort of just wrapped the bag around over the top of it, or folded it down, and then it bends and it's supposed to snap into the inside. It's just a pressure fitting, and it's meant to hold the bag in there while you put the actual clip belt in place. So you can see me struggling here. I wanted to show you this full clip without any edits at how frustrating and time consuming it is. And keep in mind, this is at 5 times speed. So I messed around with that for way too long, and then finally figured it out. The trick seems to be that you need to bend it. It's a bending ring. So you bend it in on itself and then release it, and then it snaps out. So there, I finally got it. And then clip the little belt around here. I just put it back to the second to last loop and clamped it down, and it worked great. So turned it on to test it, and it worked well, and then the clip fell down. So I had to re-put that up there. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but it is helpful to keep the bag in place, and I definitely don't want to lose that. So here's me just vacuuming up just to make sure the pressure's right, and it definitely is. And yep, on my shirt too. So, but it's really nice. It's on this little cart. It's not hard to move around. So if you needed to, you could move it around to different sections in your shop. But mine will live in this little slot right here. I'll use it on all my bigger tools, and I have a connector that I'll just plug and unplug. There, you can't see that actually. So this leads to my miter saw, and it's just gonna plug in there. It's not the quickest way to attach that, but it works, and I'm using my previous hose, so it's a 4-inch hose reduced down to a 2.5, and it works just great. So overall, I recommend it. It's the first Laguna tool I've ever had, first dust collector I've ever had, so take this review with a grain of salt. It's definitely better than a shop vac. Thank you so much for watching. If you aren't already, please subscribe, and God bless.